Good morning. Good morning, coffee aficionados. It's me. It's me, Mitch. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Mitch. And as I reach for my coffee, I always say, drink it. Drink it if you got it. Little blues to start the day. Well, my friends, how are you? Good to see you all. What a pre-chat, holy cow. Busy. And the way it looks, maybe it's my fault, but for complaining about the sun, but I don't think I'm going to have any sun in my eyes today. No, it's kind of overcast. It's in the low 60s here. I pondered whether I needed the knit hat or not. And I decided to err on the side of caution and wear the knit hat. However, I don't want this to become like Tim Pool, if you know who he is. My image to the point where I would never be seen in public without a knit cap on. Nah, that's not what it's all about. It's about being bald with this radiator on top of your head that just lets out all your body heat. And it's amazing how much warmer you put on a knit cap when you're bald. It's amazing how much warmer you just feel all over your body. So on really cold nights, I've even slept with this thing on. Anyway, good to see you. People are coming in. 65 of you so far. Let's see if I'm live. I am live over there and let me check Rumble. Oh, in the chat in Rumble, we have 11 people watching. More, M-O-H-R, to life, chimed in first. I don't have timestamps on these, but Mike Seeley from Melbourne says Happy Hanukkah and Merry Christmas. Brenda Day is over there. Rod Weeder's over there. United Carnivore greeting from Tampa. And Ellen is with us. Good morning, Ellen. How are you? Good to see you. So that's, let me refresh that, make sure it's live. Evidently it must be. Yes, I see my face over there too. Okay, all right. Good to see everybody. How we doing? 77. Wow, big turnout. Merry Christmas Eve, everybody. It is. I can't believe it. I can't believe it's December 24th already. And New Year's is just around the corner. Wow. Tempest fugit, my friend. That's Latin for time flies. Reminds me of an old silly, stupid joke. You know the old saying, time flies when you're having fun? I heard a silly little takeoff on that is, the frog said, time's fun when you're having flies. I know it's stupid, but that's a cute little play on words. I got a lot to get to this morning. I think the most show notes I ever made for one day. But before I get to that, I'm going to wait for a few more people to chime in. 81, 85. Wow, everybody's coming out of the woodwork. Maybe it's the day off. Maybe people have the day off. It's exactly the opposite of what I expected. I expected there'd be a fairly low turnout. I want to make an announcement first. I am going to be doing the Tuesday night live stream tonight. Christmas Eve live stream. No, I won't be dressing as Santa Claus, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it however long it lasts. If anybody shows up, it is Christmas Eve. I know the excitement is building, but mostly the excitement is building in the kids. And the kids, you know, standing by the window looking out for the sleigh and the reindeer. But for those of us here, I don't know, probably be like most other nights. Tomorrow morning, Christmas morning, I will be here, and I'll be expecting some real-time news reporting of the Christmas presents that everybody got. How many of you got air fryers? How many of you got sous vide machines and all this other good stuff? Worthwhile Christmas presents, not just another pair of Argyle socks and a loud tie. Let me quickly, and I'll try to do this pretty quickly, go over the pre-chat, guys. All the people that were here early. Tour Amir was here first. You win, Papa Carnivore followed up after that. Maciel Ordonez is here. How you doing? Larry Auerbach retired. Rick. Boyd Lamb is here. Hiya, Boyd. How you doing? How you doing? The Furl Grandma checked in. This is all last night. CB Carmack about 11:25 p.m. Stickman's Garage chimed in after 12:38 a.m. Here come the Insomniacs. Lady June was here. And Mike Sealy from Tampa Bay was here at 3:07 a.m. Man. Amazing. Papa Carnivore was up at 4. Cliff Medina chimed in at 5:16. Hiya, Cliff. Good to see you. He says Merry Christmas to all. Mike Sealy Sr. chimed in. So I guess we're past the Insomniacs. Marla, Kelly, Steve, Studley, Couch Potato, Gina Cav, Granny Boo 2, Mark Booze. Hiya, Mark. How you doing? 7:24. Aunt B. Good morning, Aunt B. How you doing? Nikki W. chimed in. A lot of Merry Christmases. I think we're going to hear that an awful lot here the next couple days. And Patty Molden chimed in. Good morning. And now we start the chatting begins. Don Chonger is here. Hiya, Don. How you doing? Mark's channel says good morning to all. Morning, guys. And of course, Richard Williams from Copper Hill, Tennessee is here. And we're after 8 o'clock. We're zeroing in on the show starting here. Jerry Hall, good morning. Mitch and his flock. Lizzie says good morning. Okay, who else is new? And this old fart chimed in. What time did I chime? 8:23. I always like to, just before it starts, at least let you know I'm alive. Mark Whistler's here. How you doing, Mark? Good to see you this morning. And Chris, Life After Carbs says good morning, everyone. Aaron, Booby Goats is here. Good to see you. Good to see Sharpie Aquatics. And we're coming down on 8:30. Let's see who was the winner. Ellen chimed in at 8:29 and just missed the bell. But the winner this morning is Mark Booze at exactly 8:30. Good to see you. And then at 8:30, we had Ellen. We had No Slow. We had Booby Goats, Lori's Carnivore Story, John Logan. These are all the people that finished second. Tanya's here. How you doing, Tanya? Good to see you. And Michael Pregler chimed in at 8:30, and Danny in Boston chimed in at 8:30. Holy cow, look at all these people chiming in at 8:30. Lori made a post. Booby Goats, Aaron. Tom in Tampa, Viking 442. Ellen had another one. All this at 8:30. And the last one at 8:30 was the first one, Mark Booz. 2 posts per minute. Quite a rate, quite a rate. So there you go, folks. That's the morning horse race for you, the Insomniac Report, and the people in the evening that have got nothing better to do, then click on my thumbnail and leave a comment. I appreciate all you guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks so much for being here. So, how we doing on time here? Not bad, 10 minutes. Got all that out of the way. Let's have a little sip of my coffee here. Okay, as usual, the first announcement is, I already told you about the live stream tonight, 8 o'clock, Tuesday night. Always put QQQ, ask me questions if you have, in the chat, QQQ. I've been getting to them, been managing to get to them, and I'll see them as we go down. Now, as happened yesterday, sometimes you'll put a question in the chat pointing out that you think I missed somebody else's question because I'm a half an hour behind or 20 minutes behind. So unless it's been 20 minutes or so since I've missed the question, it just means I probably haven't gotten to it yet. And if it gets down towards the end of the stream when I'm overtime and any of you know of a question that I missed, please let me know. Please let me know. I have some pictures to show you today. I have some pictures that I got, before and after pictures, and we're going to get to that. We're going to look at Tuca, and I know that some others of you sent me some pictures. Tammy Petart sent me some pictures. I was going to show hers this morning, but she asked me, she said in a comment, she won't be here this morning, but she will be here tonight. Could I wait and show the pictures tonight? I guess she wants to be around to chat about them with you. So I will do Tammy's tonight, and I'll do Tuca and Aaron, Booby Goats, this morning, show you their before and after pictures. Cool. They're cool. It's always amazing, and I really enjoy showing that stuff off. We're still talking about drones falling out of the sky here in Orlando. Every day, big thing. But no drone talk from New Jersey. Sorry, Cliff, I don't know what happened. But that seems to be yesterday's news. Evidently, they didn't create the panic that they thought they wanted to. And I'm watching the news this morning, and I always pay particular attention to the advertising that's on the news. It tells you a lot about not only what people are buying, but what people are trying to sell and jam down our throats. And lately, I've been seeing a lot of ads from our federal government about Obamacare. What's the name of that website? Forgot, because I never go to it. But they're really pumping the Obamacare enrollment, and they have such misleading, fraudulent messaging. They evidently are only trying to get people who are already on welfare, Medicaid, and the government dole somehow or other to sign up for Obamacare, so that the government can filter yet more money into the healthcare system of our tax dollars, treating these people who feel that they need to run to the emergency room every time they sneeze and run up a $8,000 bill. Because they're advertising health plans. And they say things like, you can get if you've been living without health care, and they keep confusing the concept of what health care is, which means getting care when you're sick, with health care meaning you're insured and we'll pay for everything. Health care only means getting care. Insurance means you're covered for the expenses if you get sick. But they call it all health care. They lump it into that one big thing, and our government wants you to have health care. The problem is, once you've signed up and for all this goodness in health care, when you actually need the health care, you can't get it. Not only can't you get it, because there's too many people ahead of you who also want their health care waiting in the emergency room for hours and hours and hours, but you can't get appointments with your doctors because they're booked up 6 months in advance. And when it comes to for them actually getting to the point where they're going to pay for it, you find out that your health care plan requires you to pay the first $8,000 a year of your medical bills. How do I know this? Because I have children. My daughter, unfortunately, has to be covered by that because she has her own company and she can't get any kind of other health insurance. And her husband, where he works, only covers him. They don't have a health care plan for their employees' families because it has just gotten prohibitively expensive. When I had my company years ago, I had a Cadillac health plan with Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Florida that covered everybody. Me, my employees, covered everything. No deductible. It was amazing. And I could afford to do it. I could afford to do it. Today, it would be laughable to think about how much that might cost. That would probably today cost me, for the size of the company that I had, $250,000 a month to provide that kind of insurance for my employees. Back when I had my company, I was paying $5,000 a month for the whole mess. It was incredible, incredible. So what they're doing now, they're advertising to people who have no health insurance, and the ads are saying things like, you can get a health care plan that will cover all of your medical costs and out-of-pocket expenses and, prescription drugs and your doctor's visits and all for less than $4 a month. That was yesterday. Today they advertised pretty much the same thing, and they said for $0 a month. My daughter pays over $2,000 a month for her health care plan with the government. Why? Because she's not on welfare. And she has to pay the first $8,000 or $10,000 a year for her and her son out of pocket before they pay the first penny. That's where we are, my friends. So don't fall for this bullshit about being so cared for. We're not being cared for. They don't care. They don't care. There's Mitch's rant for Christmas Eve morning. I can't believe that stuff in it. Makes my blood boil when I see it on TV. Let's all wish Bill Clinton well over this holiday season. He's sick again. Bill Clinton, my age. Bill Clinton and I are the same age, within a few months of each other. He had a quadruple bypass in 2004, and he's been in and out of the hospital since then many times. This time he had a high fever or something they couldn't get rid of, so he's back in the hospital again. Do you think it might have been his diet that caused all of that? Speaking of food, I saw a comment, and it just came in this morning, but IB Bill 42 says Costco eggs has a salmonella recall. And I found this little article about that. It says FDA raises Costco egg recall to highest level over salmonella fears. Now, this has nothing to do with the bird flu epidemic and the egg shortage. This is something else. Hundreds of thousands of eggs sold at Costco's that were part of a recall issued last month, remember that, have a reasonable likelihood that consumption may cause serious health problems or death due to being contaminated with salmonella, according to our esteemed U.S. Food and Drug Administration. On Friday, FDA slapped the Handsome Brook Farms eggs sold at Costco stores in the southeastern United States, oh great, with the highest risk level of Category 1. So last month, over 10,000 cartons of eggs were sold under Costco's Kirkland signature brand. If you live in the southeast, and you bought Costco's signature brand eggs in the last month, this is for you. This one's for you. And thought I'd make that announcement. I don't know if it applies to any of you. Also saw a little announcement on the news this morning that says drunk driving deaths are at the highest point in 15 years. And what does that tell us? It tells us that we're not doing too well in solving the addiction problem in this country. The problem that we know is responsible for virtually all, if not 99% of the chronic and health diseases and medical treatment needed by Americans. It's because of addiction. And obviously, Ellen just texted me and says Tammy P is here and we can show her photos today. Okay, I'll add them in. And I don't know if I'm going to get to all the questions today because I've got a lot of stuff to do. And I don't know whether you enjoy hearing me answer questions or talking about current events and you guys and showing pictures and stuff like that. But I'm going to do the best I can to get through it. I may be here until Christmas Eve itself doing this today. But I am going to hang in here until we get through it all, or you all decide to go away. You're tired of me. And how far are we into this thing? We are 20 minutes in, 21 minutes into it. I'm doing okay. I'm getting through it. And the last thing I saw in the news was a warning for the families that have seniors that they look out for. And it says scammers are targeting seniors, warning to their kids are senior. And my first thought was, I'm a senior. I don't need anybody to watch out for me. If anything, I got to watch out for my kids because I'm smarter than they are. I'm more aware of what's going on than they are. What an indictment of the mental health of seniors in general to say that we're helpless and that we better rely on our children to make sure we don't get scammed. Yeah, seniors get scammed all the time, especially some of the really older ones. But I'm pushing 80, and no thank you, my friends. I don't need my children to be aware of the pitfalls that I might see. Works the other way here. In this case, because I'm healthy, because I eat right, because I don't fall for this bullshit anymore, I'm the guy, like most elders used to do, that passes the wisdom and knowledge down to my children and grandchildren, not the other way around. And it's sad commentary that we're looked at, all of us people that are seniors, and that's most of us here on this channel, as just, something we got to put up with until we die and make sure we stay out of trouble. That's a parent's role as far as their kids go. And I think it's just another indictment of the poor mental health caused by carb addiction, something you hear almost nothing about. And that ends my little tirade this morning of things in the morning news. I ought to call this session Things That Pissed Me Off on the News This Morning. Sometimes you got to read between the lines, my friends. You got to learn. Most of us already know. And we're smart enough to read between the lines of whatever you hear anywhere. I think that they have a name for that. I think that the name they have for that is cynicism. And excuse me while I clean my glasses here. I buy these microfiber rags I don't have links to them or anything, but I buy them on Amazon. They come in packages of 100, and they're cheap. And boy, are they good for everything. And they will not scratch a thing, especially for cleaning glasses. My phone is going nuts this morning. I got a couple of coffees already, and I didn't even have to ask for it. Holy cow. Holy cow, you guys. I can't believe it. I got without asking. And I'm going to say who it was, but in case there's more of you with that mood, I'm going to put the link in there, and then I don't have to ask for it today. Super, super. Let me see. Who bought me some coffees this morning? Wow. Wow. Ah, I love it. I love it. Boyd Lamb, my friend. Thank you so much. 5 coffees. He says, Merry Christmas, you old fart. Goddamn right, Boyd. I'm an old fart, and I am proud of it. And the older I get, the prouder I get of being an old fart that's still got his mental faculties. So thank you. Thank you. And Tanya, 5 coffees. Thank you so much, Tanya. Grateful for all you do every day and today. You are the man. Thank you so much. Man, let me wipe this little tear from my eye. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so very much. I really, really do appreciate that. And when I say I appreciate it, there's not much in this world I appreciate that comes from other people, but you guys are in a different class. All of you. And I also saw, and I'm going to say it now, but I'll get to it later in the chat, that Boyd Lamb gifted 10 memberships to the private community. So, man, Boyd, thank you so much this morning. And when I get down to it, when I finally get going in the chat, looking for questions, I'll get to that and I will put it up on the screen. But I did see it go by, and it certainly didn't go unnoticed. And for those of you who don't understand how I do it here, I'll take 1 second and show you that on my big monitor over here, I have 2 chats. I have this one over here, and let me actually show you what that monitor looks like. This is what that monitor looks like, and over here where I'm moving around, that's the chat that I get from the software that I'm streaming through. And I can click here and put any of those things up on the screen, see? But this is the running chat that's coming from the YouTube feed. So when a super chat or one of these membership things go by, anybody joins the private community, I get a big colorful banner. And I see it go by. But look how far the chat has gone over here in the stream. And I always leave this set so I can see the new chats as they come in. Booby Goats was the bottom, said, so awesome, Boyd, Merry Christmas. And Lizzie says, what is a membership? Josephine C says, looks complicated. It doesn't. It isn't. You just have to basically, we have a private community. We have a live stream every Thursday night. It costs like $3.99 a month to be a member. And you get to help support this channel. It's not about the benefits, I don't think. It's about being part of the community, coming into the live streams. And there, just now, Rosie gifted 5 OldGuyCarnivore memberships. And thank you. And Josephine C just asked the question, says it's complicated. Well, it's not complicated, Josephine C. You just got one for free. The first month is free, and it's on Rosie. And Gary Azamendi and Lizzie was gifted a membership too. Holy cow. See, you guys, all you got to do is ask. See you Thursday night in the private community. You'll get notified of these things. You can now watch the replays of all of these great panels with all of these people that you see every day in here. You get to know who they are. We get to see your face. We get to talk face to face. It's tremendous, tremendous support. And you'll meet some of the nicest people. And Sailor Girl 7 And Morgan Cohn is a member. And I can run real fast and see who got the memberships. Coco, hey Coco, how you doing? You're back in the private community, was gifted a membership. Karen Travis was. Dogs Plus Life was. Bike Man 1969. Derek Ermentinger. How you doing? Jeff Reed. And Turamir, who's already a member, says, all right, with thumbs up. Hectic Moments was Darren Jones, Shirali, it looks like. Carnivore Awakening. That was it. Terrific. Terrific, guys. So if you are, come for the month. You got a month. If you don't like it, it's not for you. You don't renew. But if you have, they'll tell you how to basically officially sign up for it. But we get a lot of new members through those gifts. So that's how come I'm going back and forth, and I look like a Mitch bobblehead here sometimes in the morning, looking at these different screens. Whereas if I want to look directly at the camera, I have to look up right there. And again, I'll show you guys just for fun where the camera is. It is right where I'm pointing. That's the camera. Unfortunately, there is no screen there for me to see, so I'm always looking at the screens. Little technical behind the scenes. 141 people. God, good to see you. 16 over in Rumble. God. Ellen, I don't know how you keep track of all this. I don't know how you keep track of all of this. All right, let's do this. Let's get to some of the showing off. We have get them up here. We have Aaron. Booby Goats. Before and after pictures. Look. Oh, man. Look at that. Look at that. Wow. Wow, look at that. Unbelievable. Are there any more pictures? Ha, 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 ha. Look at that. Wow. Terrific. Wow. Congratulations, Aaron. Congratulations. And I know you're still doing it, and I think you said you had a little stall going on. Just work your way through it. You're on the right track. Definitely a miraculous transformation. It's hard to believe. We wouldn't recognize these people if we ran into them before, if we knew them now. It's incredible. We have Tuka. Let me make sure. He sent me a couple emails. Let me make sure I get the one I want to show here. No, not that one. I want to show the other email here. Tuka. Is this the one? Yes. Okay. This is our friend. This is our friend Tuka. And that's the before picture. He's hiding behind the music stand. I'm looking especially at this area, and there's Tuka from Finland. Look at this, man. What an athlete. Yes, Tuka. And we've gotten to know Tuka very well. He's Turamir Carnivore. We've gotten to know Tuka incredibly well. He's always in our chats on Thursday night. Interesting guy. Got quite a singing voice, too. And There you go. That's Tuca today. Look at him. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What a handsome guy. Man, that's terrific. And let me go find, congratulations, Tuca. Thanks for sending those in. And let me go and get Tammy's pictures here. And wow. Okay. I don't know where the before picture. There's the before picture. I'm going to show you this one first. This is Tammy. Before. Whoa. Tammy. That's a great before picture. You're not hiding a thing there. Now, my friends. There's the after picture. And, of course, yes, look at you. Not only are you much thinner, but you look so much happier. And let's see what other pictures I got. There's the after. Look at the difference. Look at that. Is that ever monumental? Congratulations. Not only should you be incredibly proud of yourselves, all three of you that I just showed, but I know that everybody watching this, stream, 151 people, are at this point just that much more encouraged by seeing these successes, which we normally don't get to see, proving to us and reinforcing the fact that, yes, this really works. Who'd have thunk it? Unbelievable. It really works. And, wow, I think I got through it. All. Now it's time to get to work for me and start looking at questions. So let me fuel up here first, because I'm sure I have a ton of chat to go through. But first, my friends, something very important is missing. Little happy music. Ho, ho, ho. Look, there's a sleigh going across the sky. I saw on the news this morning that, NORAD always has this Christmas deal every year where they track Santa's sleigh, and this morning he was over Russia, headed this way. So I don't think he's quite here yet, but I'm sure there's a trillion children out there on the front lawn with lawn chairs looking up at the sky, just waiting. Oh, man. Wasn't it great to be so innocent? And then we had no idea. We had no idea how much we should have appreciated our youth. That old expression, youth is wasted on the young. How right that is. Anyway, excuse me while I light up my cigar here. You got to do it right. If you're going to do it, you got to do it right. Anyway, thank you so much for your patience. Okay, so back in the chat, I left off at 8:30. And Lori was in at 8:31. So let me start looking for questions right there. And I don't get too many questions early. So Gary Arzamendi, good morning from California. I think you got a membership today, Gary. Good to see you. And I'm going to try to say hi to people I haven't seen before. Ketra says good morning all. Good to see you this morning. Mama Bear. Oh, Mama Bear chimes in with a question. Okay, good. I have been 3 years carnivore. Wow, congratulations. usually eating 3 meals per day. Whenever I try only 2 meals a day, I don't sleep well. On 3 meals, I sleep fine. I'm at an ideal weight. No issues. Thoughts? Yes. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's perfect. Perfect. Some people may need 3 meals a day. You're already at your ideal weight. You feel good. I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't change a thing. And I'm at that point too. I tried 1 meal a day, didn't work for me. 2 meals a day I get plenty of food. I don't need any more than that. I'm at my ideal weight. I've dealt with all the health issues that I had. I'm on cruise control right now. This is cruise control. Just take your foot off the gas. You still have to glance at the road, but you don't have to micromanage it. And just enjoy your life. You're living like we're supposed to live. Going with your instincts instead of trying to outsmart yourself. So perfect. Great question. Great question. And lucky you. Congratulations. Congratulations. Here's where Tammy checked in. Good to see you. I hope everybody was awed at your pictures, Tammy. And thanks for being brave enough to show them off to us. And here's Francine Bourgeois, benefactor of the now famous coffee warmer. Thank you, Francine. Every time I take a sip of hot coffee during these streams, and it's still got steam coming off of it. I throw a thank you, a mental thank you, your way. Booby Goats has a question. Does YouTube give you any compensation for doing lives? Only the same as any other. Only the same. YouTube doesn't pay me for anything. I am not on salary. I get no money from YouTube for anything. I get paid a small portion of whatever advertising they collect, and that all depends on how many views I get. When I do a live stream, I will never get as many views as I get on a video. So where I might make $6, and I showed people this last week on the private community, how much I actually make. And last month, I'll tell you, my total income for a complete month of working 10, 12 hours every day, doing live streams areas from YouTube, I earned $1,300. That's not enough to pay rent even. I mean, it's disgustingly absurd. I do it because of the love of it. So many YouTubers do it because they think one day their channel is going to really hit and they're going to get, hundreds of thousands of views and start to earn some money. But that'll never happen to me. I have to just say, okay, it is what it is, but I love doing this and people are getting helped. And I ask for their help to make it a little more worthwhile for me by buying me a coffee or using my Amazon links. That's it, because I'm not making money from YouTube. And the answer to that question is no. They don't give me anything. And it's even worse than that. Because a video, when I make a video, it's out there. And it gets pushed, and sometimes an old video will take off again. A live stream never has a chance of that happening. Never. Once it's over, it's gone. Very rarely does it get a lot of replays, but when it's after a couple days, you never see it or hear it again. So by doing live streams, I am costing myself a lot of money, but I love it. I love it. Now, I could turn this into a podcast and try to sell it to all the different, like Apple Podcasts and, to the podcast market, like so many people do. But I don't want to. I don't want to do a podcast. I like the channel the way it is, and I'm just going to keep doing it. So that's why it's so important that if you're getting benefit from this and you like what you're seeing and I'm entertaining you, throw me once in a while, not every day, but just once in a while, buy me a coffee. It helps me financially keep doing this because it's not just out of that $1,300 that I got last month. And this month I'm on track to make less than $1,000. from Google. Out of that comes $250 a year just for the software I need to do the live streaming, all these different subscriptions, any equipment I have to get repaired or fixed, all the expenses of running the channel, the fact that I have to buy new equipment from now, and the camera breaks. It's not free. There are expenses in doing this as well. And I hate asking for it. I wish there was a way. That's why I do the Amazon thing, but I'm not pushing that much, and it's dismal. It's dismal. I think yesterday from all my Amazon links, I looked this morning, I made about $8 in commissions. It's nuts. It's not even pocket change. It doesn't pay for my friggin' cigars. So thanks for asking that. And I'm not whining or complaining. I made the choice to do what I'm doing, and I do it for a lot of reasons other than the money. The good news is I'm an old fart with no debt. I don't need to make the kind of money that these young people do today to afford their house payments and their car payments and raising their children and sending them to college. That's all so far behind me. I'm just working on being able to coast the rest of the way, which means I have to keep doing this. There's no way I could live on my Social Security alone. That's ridiculous. But I have to keep doing this. So you're almost, keep me broke, guys, and you'll have me until I'm 110 years old, James Ballou, how you doing this morning? Good to see you. And Graceful Lily is here saying good morning. Good morning. And I am so far behind. It's incredible right now. I am, let's see, 17 and 30, 47 minutes behind. Unbelievable. I'm going to start running through this, but I still want to say hi to you people, and we'll catch up eventually. 153 people here. Wow, wow, wow. And let's see if anything's going on over in Rumble. Brenda Day is here. Brenda Day is here. No slows over there. And Ellen's all over the place over there in chat. Ellen, I hope you're doing well this morning, and I hope Santa Claus is going to be good to you this year. So relax if you hear brief moments of silence from me as I peruse the chat looking for some questions. We had a couple of early ones. Ellen reminds everybody, if you have a question, put QQQ in the chat and let me see. I don't want to miss them. No more coffees yet. But to those of you who did, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And here's what I think, guys. Here's what I think. And I know this is, I think that maybe some of you aren't buying me coffees because you want to do it tomorrow on Christmas Day. Kind of like you tip the garbage man and the building super. You know what I'm talking about. So I don't ever take it one way or another if I get a really nice show of generosity and appreciation, or I get none on a given day. I don't expect any of it, and I don't think the less of any people if they don't. This is a free channel. We have the private community. Oh, and by the way, whether you know it or not, that $1,000 that I'm going to get paid at the end of next month for December's ad revenue, that also includes my portion of that monthly thing from the private community. That's in there too. The total of everything I get from Google. Can you imagine less than $250 a week for a job that is 7 days a week, 8 to 10 hours a day? I could make more money with a cardboard sign standing at the bottom of an exit ramp to the interstate. So it's not about the money. Doesn't mean it doesn't help. I don't like to talk about it. I'm sorry I keep talking about it, but These things come to mind. Here we have Elena. Elena, is it Bukluman? Bukluman? Busluman? Salute from Italy. Hey, Elena. Don't know how to pronounce your name in Italian, but wow, I think that's the first time I've ever seen someone from Italy in the chat. What an occasion. What an occasion. Smoothie 420's here. How you doing? And I need to get down. I need to get going here looking for questions. And if I miss somebody I haven't said hello to, like Scott Elliott, how you doing? And Peter's here. Peter, put a question, and I just wanted you to know how much I and everyone here sincerely appreciate you and what you do for all of us. Thanks and happy holidays, my friend. Peter, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. I know I bust on you a little bit, but I love you. And thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Really appreciate that. And who else we got? Here we go. Lady June has a question. Mitch, would you please tell me about vitamin K? I think there are much more, I hate to use the word educated, many more people on YouTube that are more qualified, way more qualified than I am to talk about vitamin K. I don't know much about it, so I'm not going to answer that question. I do know that vitamin K is an adjunct, seems to be a big help when you're taking vitamin D, and I take vitamin D and vitamin K. There's a limit to how deep I go down some rabbit holes, and no limit to how deep I go down those rabbit holes that affect our ability to stay on this way of eating, stay on this lifestyle. And I leave that stuff to the Ben Bickmans, to the Ken Berries, to those guys. So if you really want to know about vitamin K, I'm not the guy to ask. And if I'm not the guy to ask, I'll always tell you that. None of us can be an expert in every subject. Certainly not medicine. That's why they have specialties these days. And each of these doctors has to keep focusing in on a narrower and narrower field and learn more and more about less and less. And here's the thing about learning more and more about less and less. As you continue to learn more and more about less and less, the eventuality is that every one of you at one point in the future will now know everything about nothing. And I think that's where the medical community is settling right now. They know everything about nothing after a lifetime of learning more and more about a narrower and narrower range in their own fields. So when I hear somebody referred to, when somebody says to me, well, that man is outstanding in his field, I picture him standing way out in a field of hay somewhere, waving. Look, there's Mitch. He's outstanding in his field. Yes, that's a... I know. I have one of those brains tries to find humor in everything. I think if I didn't have that, I'd have called it quits a long time ago. Here we have Glenda Buchanan. Merry Christmas. How you doing? I've seen a few questions, but I'm still dreadfully far behind. You guys are talking to each other. Ribeye Susie's here. Hi, Ribeye Susie. Here's a question. Here's a little question from Turamir. How are you, boss? Always asks me. Thank you, Turamir. I always say, if I was any better, it'd be illegal. I'm great. Life is good. Even on a cloudy day, I'm great. And I'm having so much fun doing this. And my cigar went out. And I could use another hit of coffee. Okay. Imagine, folks, how this feels. To wake up every morning early, to get out there, to do this, and then have every friend in the world that you have come over for coffee with you in the morning. How great would that be? Wouldn't that be great? You can only imagine. And when I say every friend that I have in the world, I mean it. You don't see a bunch of people knocking on my door saying, hey, Mitch, want a cup of coffee? No, nobody bothers me. I have no friends here. I see Rosie gifted 5 OldGuyCarnivore. Holy cow, our private community has grown like crazy today. Thank you. Thank you, Rosie. Laura was gifted. But Dan Galasso. Pretty soon you're all going to be members of this thing. Wow. And you can tell members of the private community because their names come up in green in the chat. Something that is the bane of my morning live show existence is I try to read these dark green names on a dark gray background on my computer screen. But I like it. And the little badges after those names are kind of like how long they've been a member. When you see somebody's name in green with a red badge, it means they've been in this community for over a year. Yellow badge means over 6 months. The blue badge, the turquoise badge is over a month, and the blue badge is for the new members. Don Galasso, Anthony D. Staton was gifted a membership. Wanda Dyson, Ellen, I'm trying to read those green names. Ellen, is that Hussein, was gifted a membership. Wow. Welcome, guys. Welcome to all of you. Welcome to all of you. Okay, let's go continue going down the chat here. Ernie Earhart, a doctor, brought me over 30 years of chronic, excruciating physical pain from a decision he made. Long story. I credit doctors' carelessness and lack of attention for the deaths of both of my parents. I always have. Haven't trusted them. I want to stay away from them. Just want to stay away from them. I do the bare minimum once a year. I had gone into the VA, see now when I need something, when I get a kidney stone and I'm in writhing pain, puking on the kitchen floor, yes, I'm going to need medical attention, but I don't need medical attention to tell me how to be healthy from day to day. I need medical attention to fix things that break or episodes and events that happen unrelated to my metabolism, or as a result, more than likely, of the damage I did to my body by following all of their advice in the past, which is why what I blame my kidney stones on. That's for damn sure. Eating all of those oxalates in their healthy superfoods and spinach smoothies and almonds and all of that stuff. Rosie says, well, good morning. And Rosie just gifted some people some private memberships. That's terrific. Terrific. Good morning to you, Rosie. Ellen has a question. OldGuyCarnivore, Tamara's here. Yes, got that one. Okay, thank you, Ellen, as usual, for, even though you're not here this morning, you are here and keeping me honest. That's how far behind I am. Holy cow. Wow. I'm almost gone an hour. Ha. I'm still so far behind. I got to go faster, but I don't want to miss anybody. Bill Cook chimed in, how you doing? And here I finally got down to where Boyd Lamb got the first 10 carnivore gifted memberships. I told you I'd show it off sooner or later, didn't I? Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Jesse Farmer's here. How you doing, Jesse? Good to see you. 150 people in the house. Wow. Wow. Scott Evans. Hi, Scott. The only one cares about yourself. You and I, let me make sure I get that right. The only one that cares about you and I is you and I. Absolutely. Absolutely. No, as I see here so many times in so many contexts, no one is coming to save you. That's life, my friend. That's life. Steve Studley, good morning. Steve, Merry Christmas to all. Same to you. Same to you. Same to you. If I had a Santa hat. But I am going to sit down this morning after we're done here, and I am going to try to make a very special thumbnail for my Christmas Eve live stream tonight. I tried to do it with the thumbnail for this particular live stream. I don't know if you saw it or not, but there was a picture in the background behind all that writing of two arms in what looked like a Santa suit, clutching a cup of coffee and a Santa hat sitting over to the right, and some other Christmassy looking stuff. But it was very busy, but it was the only graphic I could find real quick when I went to make that thumbnail for last night. But today I might put a little more time in the thumbnail for tonight's live stream, and it won't look like it normally does. So don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. Let's see who else I got. And I have been finding questions. John Logan has a question for me. And John says, Mitch, what are your thoughts on President Trump wanting to buy Greenland, purpose future Arctic shipping routes, and strategic reasons most likely? Well, that's a wildly off-topic question, John, but I'd be happy to give you an answer. I think the main reason he wants to buy it is because of its location. For strategic purposes, maybe to have a military base or something and make us a little more secure and less prone to any kind of bad news coming from the direction of Europe, and that's the direction that Russia's stuff would come from. So yeah, it's not a bad idea. Other than that, I don't know what use we would have for it. I know that they're proposing a Panama Canal replacement, a northern route, which would cost $100 billion or almost $1 trillion to build? And I know they're already building an alternative Panama Canal route down in Panama, so I think that's his purpose. Is it likely to happen? No, I don't think so. I think Denmark owns it now, and I don't think they got it up for sale. But you never know with Trump. Be interesting to see. Can you imagine if we owned Greenland? What the hell would we make it the 51st state? Like Alaska. Well, it's a state, but it's not really connected. It's connected to Canada. Let's buy that too. I think there's a lot of people in Canada right now that would be tickled to death to sell us Canada. That's another story. All right, so much for the politics this morning. Thank you, John. Interesting. It's interesting stuff. It's fun to watch. Nothing we can do about it, but it's fun to watch. And I'm scrolling like crazy down through here. And here's where Rosie bought the 5. Gifted the 5 carnivore memberships. Thank you. Thank you, Rosie. Appreciate that. And I think I said hi to Rick, but if I hadn't, there you are. The only club I'm a member of is the Quack Club. Yeah, I know, Rick. I know. I understand. Here's a question from Richard Williams. When were you one of the wise men at the manger, old fart? I'll never tell. I'll never tell. Lizzie says, wow. My thoughts exactly, Lizzie. I have no idea what you're wowing at, but I agree with you. And we're up to 9 o'clock in the chat, and I'm caught up to 34 minutes behind. Here we go, Don Galasso. How you doing, Don? Good to see you. Here's a question with 1Q. What do I do when I have a membership? Lizzie, you on Thursday night, look in your feed. You'll see a private community live stream. Come in and say hi to us. There'll be a link in the chat that you can click and actually come on the panel, and we can actually get to meet you, and you can talk to all of us and me face to face like you do on a Zoom call. It's really fun. It's a private community. Nobody ever gets to see these except the people that are members of the community. The public cannot see these things. You'll be also able to watch replays of previous community live streams. Every member of the private community, there's a link in the description of every one of these streams where you can download a free copy of my book that I wrote 22 years ago called Taming the Beast Within. And you can read my book if you are so inclined. I don't have a lot. I don't offer all these different levels of membership with increasing levels of access and benefits and all that crap that everybody else does. I got the simple, basic thing. And it's turned into a great community of people. You can see by all the green people in the chat. And I like it just the way it is, just the way it is. And that's what you do with it. And if you really like it and you say, holy cow, these are great people, I found a whole new circle of friends here and I could use that, then I think you'll get an email before the 30 days is up giving you a link if you want to basically sign up for $3.99 a month and be a member of it. And that helps support me a little bit. Becomes a small part of that small money I get from Google every month. But every little bit helps. Every little bit helps. And but don't do it if you don't see something in it for you. Don't do it for me. Do it because you're going to get something out of it. And what the members of our community get is a tremendous amount of support from each other, new friends, and you'd be amazed how many of these people have become great friends over the past years. Many of them have each other's phone numbers. They have become real friends and give support. Laurie says, oh my God, I want a Mitch bobblehead. I'd love to have one of those, but the cost to make that would be prohibitive. It would be crazy. It would be crazy. I settled for my Walter bobblehead. I think that's a close physical representation of me, bald head and all. And if you haven't seen that, I'll show you tonight on the live stream. I have it in my office. Yeah, Mitch bobblehead. If I were more famous, I would do that. Mama Bear also chimes in, also agrees with wow. Again, I don't know wow what. Steve Studley says wow. Maybe you guys were reacting to some of those pictures I was showing because, yes, that would be very, very appropriate. So I have to keep in mind that what I'm reading in the chat here applies to what I was doing 30 minutes ago. Yeah, that's it. Another wow. Wow, too, girl, you look so much younger. Yes, yes. Mama Bear said, awesome. Yeah, I knew I was going to get to this. Another wow. Oh, yeah, there you go. There you go. And then Danny Mossa says, congratulations, Tuca. Laurie says, Tammy, it's finally happening. Yes, yes. Everybody, wow, look at all these. No wonder I'm so far behind in the chat. Wow, wow. You guys should be so proud of yourselves. Great job, Tammy. Tuca, you look like a bodybuilder. You're right, Rick. Should motivate more people to see these things. And send me these pictures if you got them, and I will show them off. I will show them off. Carnivore Stork, I haven't seen you before. Welcome. Is that Stork or Stark? Let me look close. Stork. Carnivore Stork. Welcome. Welcome. Another amazing. Booby Aaron says it's crazy that it works. And even Aaron is complimenting her fellow carnivores. Okay, let me try to get through this. Tina showed pictures yesterday. What a transformation there. Love seeing the before and after, so amazing. And I'm about ready right now. I've got enough pictures, guys, to actually put a page on the website, on the Old Guy Carnivore website, a new page that'll show up in the menu that basically is dedicated only to your before and after pictures. And there'll probably be a sub page with a nice montage of whatever pictures you send me. that people can click on and look. And it'd be a great place to go for motivation should anybody need it. And I'll get to work on that in my spare time and probably be ready and up there. And I'll let you know when, in a week or two. Scott Evans told me to light it up. Thank you, Scott. Don't mind if I do. Don't mind if I do. I'll relight it up. How's that? Wait. All right. Little shot at happy music for you. All right, where am I? Where am I? Questions, Ellen, questions and comments to be addressed. Yes, Ellen, reminding everybody to put the QQQ in there. Here we go, James Ballou. What do you think about Dr. Bart K's stem cell support product? There are people in here that swear by it. People that swear by it. Me? My opinion is not so much, but I've never tried it. Firsthand, I can't tell you whether it's that great or not. But other than saying that about it and not to make any enemies or start any conflict or debates or reaction videos, I will but it is a puzzle. It is something that inquiring minds want to know. Thanks for asking. All right, looking for more questions. Sometimes the best thing to say is to say nothing at all. You notice that? Oh, Ribeye Susie says, is there a link for the nice coffee warmer? As a matter of fact, there is. As a matter of fact, there is. And I'm going to put it in the chat right here. I don't burn up my microphone with this cigar. And that'll take you to my website, to the page that says links to stuff I use. And as you scroll down there, it will be in the section, probably with the appliances. You'll see it in there. It's from Amazon. It's about 20-something bucks. And it's the best one I saw. I think it's the most popular one they sell. And I like it. I like it because it has buttons. You know how I like buttons. I mean, I like buttons. But in this case, the buttons are very useful. It has a button over here that says on and off. A button here is the timer. A button here is the temperature. And right here is a little display, a little readout that tells you the temperature you have it set. And I keep mine at 145 degrees. And it works great. It goes up to 185 degrees, which is too much. Francine Bourgeois bought that for me with a super chat one night on the live stream, and I went ahead and took it. It was exact whatever I netted money-wise from that. I took it and I bought this thing, and it has been one of the greatest, handiest little purchases I've made in quite a while. So yes, it's on there. It's on there, and I would recommend it to anybody. It works great. Doesn't use a lot of electricity. And I don't know if you can see the steam. Can you see it? It's hard. Yes, you see it? Yeah, you can see the steam is still coming off of that coffee. I got smoking things everywhere here. I got steam coming off my coffee. I got smoke coming off my cigar. I love it. I love it. And here, Gary says, Mitch, love your Amazon links. Very helpful for a guy like me here in California on week 3 or 4 of my carnivore health journey. You and your videos have really helped me. Merry Christmas. Gary, makes my day to hear that. Thank you so much, my friend. And how do you pronounce your name? Arzamendi. Gary Arzamendi. Great to have you here, Gary. Great to have you here. Thanks. And thanks for that. Thanks for that. Mark, give me a little words of encouragement. Mitch, YouTube will continue to grow, especially with the older crowd. You may be surprised what happens in the future. Well, the growth comes in spurts. It's crazy. It's crazy, and I don't know why. And then whatever it will be, will be. I'm not pushing it. I don't sit around all day trying to strategize. How can I make 10 cents more a month out of this? You know, what do I need to do? What products can I push? What sponsorships can I go after? It is what it is. I got the Amazon stuff, I got the Buy Me a Coffee, and I got the tiny little bit of ad revenue, which would be a lot more if I actually allowed YouTube, and I still have the power to not turn on the mid-roll ads. So you can watch an entire live stream like this and not have to be interrupted every 8 minutes with a stupid advertisement just because I want to make 5 times as much ad revenue from this stream as I make with that skippable one that starts in the beginning. I'm happy with that because I don't want to inflict those on you. And if that ever starts happening, where you start seeing mid-roll ads, it's only because YouTube has changed their policy and taken the option to say, don't show mid-roll ads away from us. And they incrementally always figure out ways to throw more and more advertising. It used to be that if I said don't show any ads, they wouldn't show any ads. But a year or so ago, they changed their policy that said, well, if you don't want us to show ads, we retain the right to show ads anyway, and you won't get any part of the money then. So there. And I'm afraid they're going to do that with mid-roll ads one of these days, but as of now, they don't. So I never turn on mid-roll ads. I always do not allow them to run mid-roll ads. And I hope none of them ever show up, because if they do show up, I'm not getting a penny out of it, and Google is once again fishing for more pennies. But you take a few pennies here and there and multiply it times 1 billion views a day they might get on YouTube, it really adds up to some significant money. Question from Francine Bourgeois. What about the membership money? Do you get some of it? I get 70% of that, Francine, just like the super chats. And Google takes 30. And I'm happy. See, I don't begrudge Google the money that I've said this before. I don't begrudge Google the right to make money, because I appreciate the service that they provide to me as a YouTuber without any charge whatsoever. I don't have to pay a monthly fee to be a YouTuber, even though I'm using $1 trillion worth of infrastructure and the ability to stream to almost an unlimited number of people without any extra charge. If I want to send emails, I got to sign up with an email provider like Constant Contact or one of those. I got to pay them hundreds of dollars a month just to have 1,000 people on my email list. If I have 50,000 people on an email list, it's going to cost me $1,000 a month, because they charge by scale. I can start this stream, and for some reason 1 million people decide I can't live through the rest of today without seeing this crazy old fart smoking a cigar, and they all log into my live stream. The infrastructure to provide that and stream that out to those million people is there to me at no extra charge. And occasionally Google actually throws my videos out to people that don't know me, but not much because of the carnivore aspect of it. But yeah, I don't begrudge them the 30%. Honest to God, I don't. Not for the private community, because I can host the private community. YouTube has all the programming to make sure it stays private and gets promoted to the right people. So, yeah, I don't begrudge it. Now, when it comes to super chats and people just wanting to say thank you to me, if you want to say thank you to me and throw me a coffee, that's fine. I like that better than a super chat. If you have to ask a question in a live stream, want to make sure I see it, yes, a super chat is the best way to do that, because it'll come to my attention in these big bright colors on the screen, and I won't miss it, which is why Anthony Chafee and Ken Berry and all those guys get a lot of super chats. And the bigger the super chat, the brighter the color, and the more often they'll notice them, the more likely they are to zero in on those, especially those super chats that say $50, $100, and some people know, I need Barry to answer this question. It's going to cost me $50, and they put it in there. But Google gets 30%, which is why he separated his private community completely from Google, and the 6, 8, 10,000 members he have of that private community that pay him every month for it are doing it on his own platform, away from Google. And fortunes can be made that way if you're as popular as a guy like Ken Berry, something I'll never be. I never want to be. I would have to have a whole company behind me and a staff of people and payroll and get into all that stuff to support an organization as big as what looks like on the surface a simple YouTube channel. You got to have a lot of people. You got to have a lot of staff. You got to have a lot of editors. You got to have a lot. It's incredible how much work it is. And the big YouTubers like Mr. Beast and Linus Tech Tips and Marcus Brownlee and all those big guys in the tech sector, they have huge buildings and studios and staff and people and millions of dollars worth of equipment and full-time editors, and they're running a business, not just a YouTube channel. I'm running a little YouTube channel so an old guy can tell you how he manages to stay on carnivore. But yeah, I don't begrudge Google that. That was a long answer to a short question, but sometimes explaining how this stuff works to people makes it make more sense. People say, well, if you only earn that much money, why the hell are you doing it, Mitch? And I keep telling you, I'm doing it because I love it and I'm proud of it, and it makes me feel good to help people. And I really mean it. And the amount of money I make doing this has got to prove that I really mean it, or I wouldn't be sitting out here this morning on Christmas Eve. How far over time am I? I'm 21 minutes overtime already, and I'm going to just keep doing this. It's a good thing I don't have a schedule or a lot of people. Here's an interesting question. Scott Evans says, who likes pork belly over bacon? Well, we all know that bacon is pork belly. I mean, that's what it is. It's just prepared differently. So basically the question should say, who likes cured pork belly over just regular pork belly? So it depends how you cook the pork belly. I made a pork belly, and I didn't sugar cure it or do any of that stuff. I just salted it, and then I sliced it up and cooked it up like bacon, and it was terrific. But there was just something about that bacon, that Wright's bacon, that had a little more salt and a little more tang to it or something. And it came in the cure or from being smoked. And it made it taste a little better, but it's still all pork belly. So, here is, Lizzie says, a street walk, Mitch. Yeah, I need to get out one of these days with the camera. Take you back on my walks. I need to start walking a little more again. And my phone just went off. Let me take this second to catch up with any coffees that any of you may have. What, me? Oh, yes. Wow, we have some. Holy cow. I missed a ton of them. Holy cow. Let me thank everybody. Eddie Edwards bought me a coffee. Thank you. Appreciate what you do. Thank you for giving your time to the cause. You're very welcome. Mama Bear bought me 5 coffees. Merry Christmas. And thank you so much for making my day on a regular basis. Right back at you, Mama Bear. So glad you're here. So glad you're a part of this community. And thank you again. Loretta at Meatitudes says, Merry Christmas. Bought me 3 coffees. Gary Arzamendi, thanks, Mitch, for being you. I appreciate so much as I begin my carnivore journey with you, he says. And thank you so much. Thank you so much. And Jane bought me a couple of coffees. Jane, thank you, Jane. Says, you are the real deal, and we love it. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. Merry Christmas. And Merry Christmas to all of you guys as well. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much. Let me just quickly make sure I thanked everybody. Well, I can't do it from there. Yeah, Boyd Lamb, Kitchen Witch, Eddie Edwards, Mama Bear, Loretta, Gary, Arzamendi, and Jane. Thank you for your generosity, my friends. Thank you, thank you. Back to the chat because I am still a half an hour behind or more. Holy cow. Carrie G chimed in, says hi. I think this is going to go long here. Question. Gary, when you sous vide a steak, how long do you usually let it cook in the water? I wasn't worried about it until I read the mushy factor. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Gary. But the mushy factor doesn't start to even apply until you get to incredibly long sous vide times. And for a steak, that might be, just for a rule of thumb, say any time over, say, 4 hours, six hours. What happens to meat in a sous vide is it doesn't overcook, but it does tenderize. And that's why we use these 24, 1 day, 2 day, 3 day sous vide time to do ribs and to do chuck roasts and briskets in, because we're not interested in really cooking the meat. We bring it up to a certain temperature, but we want it to tenderize. With a steak, which is already tender, especially a good ribeye, I do mine at 128 degrees for 2 hours. But I don't worry about it. I usually start it earlier than I need to. So, when the spirit moves me to eat, it may have been in there for 2.5, 3 hours, but that you don't even have to worry about the mushy factor. You never get close with a steak, unless you're 4 to 6, maybe 8 hours. And you may like it a little tenderer. If you left it in there for 3 days, I think it'd get too mushy. But it's not something that any of us need to worry about. That's the beautiful thing about sous vide. The temperature is pretty much all that matters. The time, you've got a big window of time there. Laura has a question. I went on vacations, fell miserably off the wagon, and I'm having lots of trouble to climb back home. Could you give me some advice? Yes, Laura. Back to square one. Look up my video. What to do on the first 30 days of carnivore. Clean all the shit out of your house. Go to the store, buy a bunch of meat. For 30 days, eat until you can't eat anymore. If you ever get a craving, eat more meat. Just keep eating. Throw the scale away. You know the drill. I've said it a million times. And that's what happens when you fall off the wagon. Same thing with an alcoholic. Alcoholic falls off the wagon, goes on a binge. Got to clean all the bottles out of the house. Got to start going to meetings again the next day and abstaining completely from alcohol and doing whatever you can to knock those cravings down when they happen. Maybe it's a nicotine patch for no, that would be for a cigarette smoker. I don't know how an alcoholic knocks them down other than goes to meetings. Drinks a lot of coffee. Maybe substitute caffeine for the alcohol addiction, because that's how most addictions end up getting treated. You just drop one addiction and substitute another. Keeps your dopamine happy. Rosie, there's the other 5. Wow. Rosie was busy today. Thank you so much, Rosie. Stickman's Garage late to the party. Yes. And the party's still going on. Rosie says, I'm feeling very generous today. Thank you. Thank you, Rosie. Yes, that was fabulous of you. Thank you. And Aaron says, the YouTube famous Flash Gordon said, good morning, boss. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And Josephine C. has to go to bed. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to you. Question, Mitch. Will you be wearing an ugly Christmas sweater for tomorrow's live show? I don't own any ugly Christmas clothes. Sorry, I'm a Jewish boy. You don't want me dressing up like I was for my bar mitzvah with the tallis draped over my neck, a yarmulke on my head. No, I'm sorry. No, don't have any Christmas clothes. I don't even have any ugly sweaters. I threw away almost all the clothes. I mean, I gave them away to Goodwill. Almost every bit of clothing I had when I lost all this weight, nothing fit. Why take up a lot of room? I did keep all my old, ugly, outrageously loud tropical shirts because they were pretty neat shirts and art. Some of them are real art, but everything else went. I have very, other than the reason you see me dressed the same all the time is because I haven't had the need to go out and buy a bunch of clothes. I buy sweat stuff, sweatshirts, sweatpants, T-shirts, and shorts mostly is what I wear. I have 2 pairs of jeans that make up the entirety of my long pants department. I have no suits anymore that fit, no sport jackets that fit, nothing. And I don't go anywhere where I need one. So I figure I'll wait and buy them when I need them, if I need them. And let's see if I can't get through this. Holy cow. Still got 133 people here. Scott asks me, what are you making for Christmas dinner? I'm going to my son's house tomorrow night for dinner. And he's making a prime rib roast in his Ronco rotisserie from Ron Popeil. And it makes the greatest prime rib you've ever had in your life. And that's what I'm having for dinner. Just a bunch of prime rib, no sides, no nothing, just meat. And my kids both know not to even offer me anything else anymore. Scott Elliott says, hey, Mitch, do you drink bone broth? No, not regularly. I'm not a real fan of it. I'm sure it's great for me. I don't, when I made it once, it stunk up the house in a slow cooker. I didn't like that. I'm not crazy about the flavor of it. I do make beef soup, though. But I probably might gain a little nutrition from bone broth, and it's good for certain things. But no, I don't make it. I don't have a recipe for it on my channel. There's so many bone broth YouTube videos out there, but it's just not for me, and not everything is for me. I try to keep it as simple and with the least amount of mess possible. And I'm just running through this now. So, Maria Sarah, I'd seen you before. Welcome. Good to see you. And, wow, I'm up to 144 again. The second shift is coming in. Oh, man, it's great. This is great. It's just really nice out here. It's not warm yet. I do have a studio light shining in my face so that I think I would not be as well lit if I turned it off. On the days when the sun shines through the window, the last thing in the world I need is a light on me. But I do have some studio lights to try to make sure that the video aspect of this comes out good. I've been happy with it lately, and the sound and the audio. I hope you guys have been too. And of course, we have music for the appropriate occasions and sound effects when necessary, which I don't overdo because I think they can be overdone. Mary Henke says, I will be ordering one for my brother. I guess you're talking about the coffee warmer. Super. Yeah, they're great. They're great. I don't just use it out here now. When I sit, if I'm having a cup of coffee and sitting in the family room watching TV, I'll use the coffee warmer. I've gotten to the point now where I say to myself, why the hell drink lukewarm coffee or cold coffee when you can have it steaming? And interesting, when it's steaming, the cup lasts much longer. You just take a sip and it's happy. You're happy. You're not just trying to get through it because it's cold. And that's how come a single cup of coffee can last me 2 hours sitting there doing a live stream. Never made it before without the coffee warmer. So there's little things in life, little gadgets that just make things more convenient. Wow. This is the bottomless chat, guys. And yes, Gary, I got your cup of coffee. Make sure. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. You need a buy me some bacon button. I need a buy me a cigar button, but believe it or not, they don't, and you guys know this, and I'm just joking, but I can take that coffee money and do whatever I want with it. I can buy cigars, and they have nothing to say about it. So, yes, consider it. Consider a buy me a coffee as a buy me some bacon button too, because I guarantee you some of that money goes towards buying bacon, because I eat a lot of bacon. Maria Sarah. It's not a question, but I thought it's Maria. I always go back to the question of what did humans eat 100,000 to 1,000,000 years ago? What was natural for them to consume? Humans are carnivores. That's a fact. Peter, you're correct. You're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. Go back to the ancestral diet. You don't have to go back 100,000 years. You can go back anything more, pretty much anything more than 20,000 years, and you're before the agricultural revolution, before we started eating sugar other than the grubby, natural, sour things that we went out and gathered during times of famine when the meat wasn't there and the hunt failed. So you don't have to go back very far. Just back to the cavemen, 30, 40,000 years ago. That's the Paleolithic diet. Okay, we have Rosie. Question, I've been a carnivore for a year, but have gained 25 pounds. Tried OMAD and intermittent fasting. Weight is up and down 5 pounds. Any idea what to do now? I might try adding exogenous ketones. There's all kinds of things you can do. And I don't know anything about you, Rosie, other than you're a very generous person. I thank you for that. What I would do, come into the live stream Thursday night. Log in, get in the window if you are up for that or can do that kind of thing, and let me learn a little bit more about you, or tell me a little bit more about you. You know, how much weight do you have to lose? Do you have medical conditions? These are the important things. Do you have any thyroid problems that might be screwing up or negating your ability to lose weight at all? There's so many physiological factors that could screw you up. And analyze your own habits. How often are you, whether purposely or not, eating too much sugar in one form or another? One of the things that screwed up so many people, and they never realized it, they actually put this powdered creamer in their coffee. Want to stop losing weight? Start using powdered creamer. Maybe they're eating too much cheese. There's so many things. So you have to kind of take a look at how you're doing what you're doing. You shouldn't be gaining weight unless you're skinny. If you're 20 pounds underweight and do carnivore, you will gain weight. Carnivore is not a weight loss diet. Carnivore is a appropriate diet that will allow your body to decide what its healthiest weight is and work in that direction, whether it be gaining or losing weight. So I hope that gives you some food for thought. And continue to be here and continue to ask for help. Just let us know a little more about you. Where am I in the chat? 9:52. Oh my God, this is officially the longest morning Coffee with Mitch live stream in history. 1 hour, 38 minutes so far. Wow. And I am 9:52. I am only about 15 minutes behind, so I'm catching up, but you guys are asking questions, which is great. Ribeye Susie, do you have to watch how much you earn when you're on Social Security, or will they cut back? No, they'll never cut back on my Social Security check, not until I start earning humongous amounts of money, but they will tax me on it. I have to pay taxes. Believe it or not, they give me Social Security and I got to pay income tax on it. And that's one of the things that Donald Trump promised. One of his first promises was cut the income tax on Social Security, for God's sakes. The hell kind of nonsense is that? Is our government, they waste so much friggin' money, they need to take food away from old people that can't afford to eat because the Social Security they get isn't half of what it costs or a third of what it costs to live. nonsense. So he wants to abolish the tax on Social Security income. But right now, last year I had to pay $2,400 in income tax on my Social Security because I do a little work for my daughter and make a little money on the side. And the thresholds are so low that you make any money on top of your Social Security, they're going to start taxing you. You might even end up with less than you would have if you hadn't made the money in the first place. Yes, sir, a great country, man. Put those illegal migrants in fancy hotel rooms in New York. Give them Visa cards with $2,500 a month so they can eat and live the American dream and take money away from friggin' old people who are struggling to get by every day. That's America. That's the America that I want. Wow. That question, as you can tell, is certainly a hot point with me. It's a hot point with me. And what do we got? Looking for the questions here. I let it out, man. If it's on my mind, I say it. That way I don't let it fester. Questions. Come on, let's go. Yes, the bottomless chat, Gary. It's crazy, but I wouldn't have it any other ways. Question, ask all your viewers to post their progress, then put the results in your archive. Yeah, more work for Mitch. I think that'd be more bookkeeping than I want to do, but it's a good idea, spinning wheels. It's not my job. I'm not trying to sell carnivore to anybody here. I'm trying to just help people do it. I'll put the pictures on my website of the big winners, but to start creating what is the equivalent of a medical chart with day by day or month by month numbers, nobody would look at it, number one, and I would need to hire a secretary to keep up with it. And I work 8 to 10 hours, devote 8 to 10 hours every day of my time to this, either making videos, filming videos, editing videos, doing research, doing live streams. Today, this is going to be a 2-hour live stream. I'll have probably a 2-hour live stream tonight. It took me an hour to set this up. It's going to take me half an hour to, well, I may leave it up because I may want to do it out here tonight. Depends on how nice an evening it is instead of in the studio. But the time adds up. The time adds up. Question, are we having a New Year's Eve party? What day of the week does New Year's Eve fall? Let me see. I hadn't given that much thought. Let's see. Let me get my calendar going here. My calendar. You all know this, but I'll never see it in the chat. New Year's Eve is a Tuesday. Yes, Tuesday. I'm not going anywhere New Year's Eve. I stay home on New Year's Eve. I always have. I consider New Year's Eve amateur night. Out on the roads. I don't drink. I have no reason to go out New Year's Eve. Most people celebrate the new year. I celebrate having survived the old year. That's what I have to celebrate. The new year will bring its own challenges. But yes, Tuesday night, we are going to have a New Year's Eve party. Of course we are. And we're going to drink bubbly. We're going to drink San Pellegrino. And the worst thing that'll happen is I'll have to take a few little breaks to hit the bathroom during it. But we're going to have a Tuesday night. Now, on Tuesday night, I don't usually bring a panel in. I may, after some of it, bring a panel in and we can all have a party together. So, yeah, great idea. Tuesday night, December 31st. And how am I doing? I did it. I did. Yes, I did. I got to the bottom of the chat. Ellen says, woohoo, party. Yes. And I did all of that today. All of that. Everything we did today, all the talk, answered all the questions I could find in a mere 1 hour and 45 minutes. Pat yourself on the back, Mitch. Yes, sir, and it was fun. Still got 132 people in here. Wow, you're all hanging in there. And still 14 people on Rumble. That was great, guys. It was great. Just great. Good morning. Good morning. Christmas morning. I'll see you tonight at 8 o'clock on the live stream. If you're not doing anything else on Christmas Eve, I think I'm going to call it a day. Wow. I still have some coffee, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a little music. And you guys can take a few minutes, say goodbye to each other in the chat. I'll finish my coffee, and this song just started. This song is 1 minute and 45 seconds long, and that'll be the timer for this little goodbye part of our Tuesday morning, Christmas Eve. Morning Coffee with Mitch. Yes, sir. And everybody's saying goodbye. Paul McGrogan, Graceful Lily, DS111, Ellen, Gary, Lori, Mary Yankee, Danny in Boston, Lat, Boyd Lamb, CB, Carmack, Aaron, Booby Goats, Sherry, I didn't see you. Where were you? Hi, Sherry Morgan in California just chimed in. Wow. Good to see you, Sherry. Merry Christmas. Hi and bye. I know it's California. We went long this morning, so I'm glad you found us when you woke up. And with that, the music has ended. So, my friends, I'll see you tonight. In the meantime, take the rest of the day off and eat meat.